What's going on, guys? Teen Mechanic here. Today I'm bringing you another video. Nothing incredibly special today, not on this Mustang, but on this 1988 Chevy P30. So yep, this is our family RV. It's a 1988 Winnebago Superchief. Of course, I mean, it's the P30 platform. It's got a 454 big block. I think it's a big block. I don't know. Like I said, not a Chevy guy. And actually, if you follow Katarina over at Katarina's Garage, awesome channel, go check it out. There'll be probably a link in the description. She actually did a video on an RV. I don't know what kind it was. Couldn't tell you, but I forget. But it was an RV just like this one, a Class A motorhome. And you know, I meant to do a video on this thing a while back, but I figured now I may as well take it. I'm here, and we're sitting right here, so we can go through it. I haven't been inside this thing for well, quite a while, so it's probably a very big mess. Now keep in mind, this is not in great shape. It's decent. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's not in really all that great a condition. I mean, you can see here we've got some coolers, stuff that just was never taken out. Doesn't stink in here or anything. Nothing lives in here yet, which is great. Lots of storage, you know, sleeping bags, whatever. Nobody really cares about that. Now, with the 1988 Winnebago Superchief, which I will show you something very cool in a minute, you should stick around. You could get either the whole bedroom, which I believe moved this wall back a little further, or if not, you get a whole queen-size bed, which would fit right here, and then you could get, or no, actually, I think it was a queen-size bed that would fit like this, and a wardrobe on either side. In this case, we have the two twin beds on either side, which really works well for us. You know, with me and my brother, if we're having anyone else with us, I mean, the twin beds really works a lot better, although they are not very comfortable. This one just feels like you're laying on a sheet of springs. This one's not terrible, but it's still not all that great. Hurts your back if you sleep on it for too long. This fell off. I don't know what that is. The toilet pipe burst. It was a clean water pipe, not gray or black water. Pipe burst under the toilet and started spewing water everywhere, so I had to take all of that apart. That was terrible. Yeah, no, this thing, the water pump also burst because we didn't drain the water out of the system, didn't put antifreeze in it. So the water pump no longer works properly, and yeah, there's actually still a bunch of moldy water in holding tank 1 because I filled it. Or not holding tank 1, sorry, the water tank. I filled it and I never drained it. Again, I'm going to show you something real cool in a minute, so stay tuned for that. But you can see this one here has the dinette, not the couch bed. The dinette sure works a lot better than the couch bed because then there would be nowhere to eat. You always got the swivel chair, no matter what you got. Always got a swivel chair. On the nicer ones, you had a whole sconce on the wall with a lampshade. It was nice. There's a pull-out table here, which you pull out and extend. Now, unfortunately, this bunk bed is... this is bear spray. Okay, that should go somewhere else. Unfortunately, this bunk bed is in the way, so I gotta try and put it up. Now, this bunk bed is very annoying to get back up there. There we go. Okay, so you gotta get these latches all in place, and when you do, it's not bad. Okay, so now that thing would slide out. Now, here is the cockpit. Here's where you drive. Now, this thing is actually... It's cumbersome. Driving this thing, I've driven it many times, and it's very cumbersome, hard to drive. You have to really know what you're doing. Driving something this long with this much rear end swing, you really do have to know what you're doing. This is not like I mean, it's not like driving something with air brakes, like a semi, you know, something super long. This is actually 27 feet, I think 27.9 feet long. And I'm just realizing there's crap all over the dash. What the heck is this from? You know what? I bet you that's like pop or something. Oh yeah, that's gross. That's sticky. Okay, I gotta clean all that off. Like I said, this RV is the family RV. Kids hang out in here all the time, so it gets very nasty. But anyway, like I said, lots of rear end swing with this thing. Lots of rear end swing because the axle is so far forward, the rear one. So you have to know what you're doing, but this thing is hard to drive. The gas is in a bad position, so if you're driving this thing for hours, which you do if you're in an RV, your foot really gets tired because the gas is at such an awkward angle. Also, the brakes, you got to know when you're braking. You got to brake in advance. You know, I mean, it's not bad. It doesn't take a terribly long time to stop, but it's not quick. Anyway, this ignition also spins, so if you aren't reaching under the dash and holding this ignition, it will spin with the key, so you gotta hold it. This is the same gauge cluster that you see in a lot of Chevy trucks. My Suburban has a very similar one. It only goes up to 140. Now this, you can see, because it's an RV. RVs don't get driven all that often, so you can see 128,619 kilometers. Like I said, I'm in Canada, of course, hey? So anyway, I mean, none of this is miles. None of my videos are in miles. It's all kilometers. But hey, for the people in the States, we don't measure by kilograms most of the time. Like, honestly, I don't know how to measure in kilograms. I don't measure in millimeters. I measure in inches, feet, meters occasionally, or centimeters. Honestly, I go by inches, and pounds, and kilometers. I understand the miles and kilometers thing. I understand very well. I'm very good at converting those because I'm a car guy. But other people, they metric, except for usually pounds and inches, things like that. People use inches all the time up here in Canada. It's not like we're way up in the boonies. So anyway, just a little PSA there. Anyway, I'll take this engine cover off in a minute, but under all this garbage, you'll see right here, this is the cool thing. This here, I really like the name of this thing, Noteworthy. First time I saw that, I thought it was pretty cool. Anyway, that's unrelated, but you can see in here it comes with all of its original brochures. This is something pretty darn cool, folks. Check this out. These are the different underneath storage options that you could get for the different one. We have the 27 RQ. You can get a 31 or a 34, but in our case, that's what we have right there. This water tank right here is full of old, varnished, crappy water, and then these two are for your gray and black water, and that's where you hook in the power. But you've got all the manuals for all the stuff in here, for the satellite, for the air conditioner, for, I think that is an antenna of some kind. So you have your owner's manual for everything like that, the awning and all that nonsense. I'm not going to go through all of that because that's pretty boring. Also, when it used to have a VCR in here. But the coolest thing, arguably, would probably be either this right here, which is the 88 Chevy owner's manual. This is for Chevy trucks. This is what you'd see in my Suburban, actually, if it still had it. And you've got the rest of the brochure right here. Now, this is the one we have right here, the 27RQ, and that's what I meant with the queen bed right there. You could get either the queen bed or the twin beds, which would be in place of that queen bed. Now, that is exactly what we have, except with the twin bed and the dinette instead of the couch bed, like I said. So that's pretty cool that it still has all that. That is cool. So anyway, I'm going to put all this stuff back away now, and I'll show you some other cool stuff. All right, stepping out of it here, we have all the storage tanks. Now this is where the propane goes. Also the water pump sits right there. This is the other side of one of the holding tanks. As you can see, there's a wasp's nest in this thing every year. Around here is a ladder. You can climb up on the back of this thing. Beneath this thing here, there's a keyhole on either side of it. That is where your spare tire is. I've seen it. It's dry rotten, but hey. Now actually, check out how dry rotten these tires are when we get around to the axle here. It's where your gas goes. Generator would go there. Now, look at how dry rotten these tires are. Yeah, these are very dry rotten. We've driven thousands of kilometers on them and had no issues, but we really need some new ones soon. What I love about these RVs is that there is a separate driver's door on this side. Winnebago sure did a good job with this, because I would not like to have to walk all the way the heck around to the other side just to get in here. But you can see this is very useful. Which, I don't know, I've always liked that, and it's actually like a house door. Yes, you push in the button, but like I said, when you push it, it doesn't just pop open for you. You have to push it and pull it open. Now, aside from that, here's the front end. You can open this thing, and nothing really happens. I mean, you can put some oil in, check your fluid levels and all that stuff, but nothing Nothing crazy. Anyway, I think it's time to fire it up and take off that engine cover. Something I also forgot to mention is that seat turns around. I really like that on this thing too. There's a little rod that you move to the side and you can swivel it all the way around. I really like that. But anyway, as you can see, I got the engine cover off. Here's your beautiful 7.4 liter, which you can see right here on the sticker. I believe it's right there, somewhere around here. I think it's right there, or I don't know. There's a big old 4-barrel underneath this air cleaner. I'll show that to you real quick. Pull it off. Put this right up there. Now, gigantic, gargantuan air filter, that's for sure. Oh boy, look at this. Those look like, are those mouse turds, or are those, is that like seeds? Either way, animals have been in here. Now, it looks like you actually have a secondary air filter as well, which is interesting. Now, there's your 4-barrel. Probably just a Rochester Quadrajet, that's my guess. But anyway, well, it's up here. I may as well look for the 7.4 liter. There's your 60 gallons. 60-gallon fuel tank. Oh, my God. Let's see, it's probably over here, right there, 7.4 liter. Now, let's go ahead and throw this guy back on. The wing nut back on, right there. There's your distributor and everything like that. I mean, this is actually, this engine is very accessible, more accessible than an engine bay, in my opinion. But, you know, I still wouldn't like to pull an engine out of this thing, that's for sure. I'd just cut the front out if this thing, God forbid, were to get in a wreck of any kind, and everyone was okay, that's the first thing. But I would pull this engine out, just cut the entire front end out and pull this engine out. That's exactly what I'd do. But anyway, let's go ahead and fire it up. That's probably what everyone's waiting for. So hopefully you can hear me okay. Like I said, you got to reach all the way behind it so you can turn the key. Oh, it's ready to start. Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and fire it up. Oh boy. Well, dead as a doornail. Holy moly. Alrighty, I got a brand spanking new battery just hooked up my jumper cables to the old battery, and I'm hoping that is enough to get her going, but if it's not, we do have some vehicles to boost it with. Okay. Here we go. There you have it. Oh yeah, she runs well. She runs very well. For sure. Now, it has a bit of a tick, and I've never heard that before. Look how dry rotten those tires are. Yeah, no, I've never ever heard that tick. Alright, let's let it warm up a bit. Just kick down one step. See if she'll go down one more. Not yet. See if she'll go down one more. There you go. Listen to how quiet that is. Like, guys, listen how quiet this is. Now, Chevys have a whistle. I've noticed this. When Chevys are idling, like this one, for example, big ones. Not necessarily the Cadillac. The 501 Caddy's kind of loud. But this, when they idle nice and low, my Suburban does it. Every GM I've ever had does it. It has a little whistle or whine or like a as it's idling. They all do it. They all have it, and I don't know what it is, but that distributor or something sure sounds loud there. Man, oh man. This would be a fantastic engine. Only has 128,000 clicks on it. RV. Little tidbit of info for you guys. I know probably every single one of you knows this. If you want an engine, a low mileage, good running, big engine for a project, go with an RV engine. Buy an RV even. If you can find one all the time that have hail damage or flood damage or something like that, but the engine is still good. RVs aren't driven every day. RVs have relatively low mileage usually, so you can just cut the front of it out easy, just yank the engine right out of it. That's where you get your engines if you can. There are even guys who sell engines from RVs. That's where you should get them. Just a little tidbit, but yeah, no, this thing runs fantastic. Let's watch her start back up. Oh boy, that stinks actually. Check this out. Choke. You can hear the choke actually. Listen how low it idles. That's got to be 600-700 RPM max. Okay, let's shut her off. AC, by the way, check this out. Want to see the AC start? As soon as you turn it on, watch this. Ready? Oh, that's off. On, off. On, off. It's instant, and that's kind of cool. Anyway, let's get this cover back on, and yeah, I don't really need to show you under the front beauty cover there or whatever. That really does nothing. And look at the size of this bell housing, guys. Look at this. You can see down here. There's the bell housing right there. All of this. 4.1, I don't know what that means, or 4.1 or 4.1, 4 to 1, I don't know. HD, I gotta assume, stands for heavy duty. This is a gigantic truck transmission, and it sure jolts when you put it into gear. Oh boy, it's eager. I don't know, like this engine is fantastic. This is a 454. Let me know, guys, if I should swap out the 350 in my Suburban, the 5.7 for a 7.4, which is, if it were a 7.5, swap out this 5.7 for the exact opposite. 7.5, but no, it's a 7.4, 454. If I can find an RV 454, can't have this one yet. When my dad gives me this RV, which is inevitably going to happen because I'm the car disposal guy, then perhaps I can, but I don't know. Actually, I feel like this one might be worth gutting and renovating. But anyway, I'm going to get this cover back on. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike. But let me know in the comment section below how it's improved and let me know what you want to see. But aside from that, this thing, I don't know. There's not a whole lot of content I can bring you on this guy. But I just figured I'd show it. If there's something you want to know how to do on an RV, you can request a video. How to do, I don't know, how to prep it for winter. Maybe that's something I'll do. Not sure. But either way, I'm going to get out of here for today. Let me know if I should put a 454 in my Suburban. That would be really cool. But anyway, I am going to get out of here now. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, hopefully very soon.